Hey everybody, this is Dave here at Pulp Alley, and today, of course, we are talking about the Pulp Alley adventure game. Somebody was recently asking us about using the core characters deck for creating leagues and how to match them up with characters. So let's take a look at that and go through how you would create a league using cards out of the core characters deck. I guess the first thing I'll say is that these are some of my favorite characters. These are the sorts of characters when you get the characters core deck. These are the sorts of characters that I include in a lot of my leagues. So they are, just good basic characters that I use over and over again. So let's take a look at Pop Top's league here, just kind of go through it. So if I was picking out cards for Pop Top, and I know he's going to be my leader, I'd kind of start with the leader cards and just kind of start thumbing through them until I found one that felt. And sometimes, I'll find two or three that I go, you know what? Well, maybe that one or maybe this one, and then I'll kind of thin it down until I find one that I go, okay, that's the one that I want to use for Pop Top right there. Same thing with his sidekick. I'll go through the sidekick cards, and there's a lot of it, and I'll look at that. I'll look at the miniature sometime, and I'll go, is he going to be shooty? Is he going to be brawly? Is he going to be more focused on doing actions and things like that? And I'll kind of go through there and think about also balancing my sidekick with my leader. So in this particular instance, the leader's a little more brawly than he is shooty. So I thought, I think I'll do the same thing a little bit with the sidekick, and kind of make them a matched pair there so they can run together. When I got down to my allies here, I was looking at, well, what do I want them to do? How do I want them to fight? And I really liked that close combat skill, so I thought, well, I want to try and use that. That's pretty good, and that matches up with what I want them to do. And then when I get down to the little level one character, I found one that kind of fit how I wanted that character to be. But the truth is that there's just like so many different options that you could go with. And so it's more about picking things out that you'd like. So sometimes I'll start with the card and go, well, I want somebody that's shooty. So I'll find a character that's pretty shooty, and then maybe I'll pick out a miniature for that. Or you could do it the other way around. I can look at this and I can say, well, I want to create this character here, and I think she's level two. So let's call her a level two character, and go through those cards and just kind of go, well, no, she's not a close combat. I don't want her to throw bursts. She's not two fisted. Agile, maybe. She's not a beast. She's possibly a goon. That's not a bad one. That's an option. Fierce, straight up marksman. So the big difference between making her a goon, which gives her sharp and marksman, is that she won't be able to perform actions like plot points and things like that. And then I have another one over here that is just a marksman. So those are two really good options. So maybe I'd make her a goon if I wanted her to be focused on doing shooting, and not so much on to have that chance of doing actions. And then here's another character. We'll look at this one. Is this, and I set these two out there because honestly, the way you interpret the character is up to you. Like, I could look at those two characters and I could say, you know what, I could use that same card for either one of those characters. They could both be that character right there. There doesn't have to be a big difference, and those are the things that you can decide when you're creating your own character. Or you could use that one for one of them and then say, well, I'm going to use a different card. I'm going to use just the straight marksman for this one and then the goon for that one over there. So that's a fun way to do it too. You can kind of make those decisions as you go along. I have this character here, and I look at that one and I say, well, maybe I want him to have that close combat sort of thing. So I could give him a bonus either to his shooting or his brawling. But then there's a lot of other things that I could go with him too. So, maybe I want him to be a dodgy character with only 2 dice in shoot and 3 dice in brawl. That might be something I would do too. So picking out the character and then finding a card that you think kind of fits it is a fun way to do it. So let's just build an entire league real quick and decide how we wanted to do that. When I do this, I'm going to start with a leader level character. So I have this character here that I want to build. Now I look at this character and I think, you know what? Is she brawly? I see she does have a pistol there. She's got that sword displayed prominently. Now, that doesn't mean that that's the end or the beginning of the character. Maybe there are other things at work there. Maybe she is deductive. Now, that would be interesting. Maybe she has no brawl skill at all. Maybe she's particularly dodgy. So that's an option too. Maybe she doesn't actually use that pistol. So you can kind of go through those cards and find one that you go, okay, that kind of fits that character. All right, that's a pretty good one there. I kind of like that with danger sense, quick strike, and fierce. That's definitely feels like her. Here's another one with Lucky Devil and Moxie and Fierce. Oh, I like that too. So there she has a little bit more of a brawl skill. Her shoot is still good. She's got a lot of dodge. She's also cunning. That's pretty good. I like that. So either one of those would be good. Dashing with quick shot and marksman. So although she's got that sword, maybe it's more ceremonial and she's really about using that pistol on her side. So those are some things that you could go with. And out of these, I like this one. I think I'll make her brawly and go with something like that. See that? Just pick out a card that you think fits that character and say, well, there's my leader. Now, I'm going to use this character for my sidekick. Look at that. This one definitely gives me more of a shooty feel. So when we go through these, I'm going to be looking specifically, but I don't want her to be a slouch on brawling either. So those three I can kind of cancel out. That one is more brawly than shooty. That's not really what I'm looking for. This one's kind of interesting. That's a possibility. Quick strike, fierce, moxie, fierce, quick shot, and marksman. That's kind of cool. So that's an option. Veteran and marksman. That one is calling to me. I like those. All right, so that's what I would use for that particular sidekick. Veteran and marksman. She's still a good brawler, not a great dodger, and cunning. I like that. I like that. So now what I have to think about is how many slots I really have. So that's my first 3 slots. Remember, your leader is free, so that's going to use 3 slots so far. So if I think I'm going to use a follower, then that's going to leave me with 3 slots for allies. So 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 1 slot for a follower. So now I'm going to look at who am I going to use for these allies, and this is what my allies look like. Something like this. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Definitely. We call this the Ladies Rifle Academy, is what I call these in my Venus Aflame Victorian sci-fi campaign. So I definitely want to have something that is shooty. So none of those. That's two dice and shoot. They have a really good dodge there. I don't think I'm going to use that. Not that one. Okay, so this is an option here, or this one. All right, so those are the two that I really think. And you know what? I don't have to use the same one for all of them. As a matter of fact, all three of them could have a completely different card. And you know what? Since they're part of the Rifle Academy, young ladies, I'm going to go ahead and give them that goon ability so they cannot actually perform any actions. And I'm going to make them all identical because that is their training. So that's what they have. And then I still have one little follower. She doesn't really have any kind of shooting, I see. She has a little dagger there in her hand. She's got a little trumpet in her hand. Let's see if we can find a card that kind of fits that one. This one has no shooting and no dodge. Whew. No shooting and no dodge? Are you kidding me? I don't think I want to go that route. This one has one dice in brawl and shoot and two dice in dodge. I could go with that. This one has two dice in shoot. Well, she doesn't even show. I can't even see a weapon on her there. This one is two-fisted with two dice in brawl and two dice in dodge. That's a possibility. This one has brainy, so they have two dice in dodge and two dice in cunning, but she has no dice in brawling at all. Sly. I think I kind of like the idea of making her brainy. So I'm going to give her two dice in cunning, two dice in dodge, no brawl, and one dice in shoot. So maybe she does have some little pistol or something on her that we don't really see. All right, so that would be a 10-slot league right there, made out of the character cards, and you really can't go wrong as far as making a balanced league in this way. This would be a pretty shooty league. The leader is brawly. The characters all have a fairly decent brawl. Even the allies have two dice in brawl. The only one who really can't brawl is the little follower with no dice in brawl. They're shooty, they're brawly, and then performing actions, not the greatest when it comes to performing actions, so really going to have to rely on the sidekick and the leader for that. And that's creating a league from scratch. Hadn't really thought about it before I sat down, but that's about how long it would take you. You could also start with the cards and pick out the cards that you wanted, and then look through your collection and go, well, who is this? Who could represent this card? So that's another way that you could do it. If you have any questions about using the core characters deck, let us know down in the comments. While you're at it, make sure you get subscribed to our little channel. Make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe or the bell, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.